You're watching Grizzly TV. Welcome to the Northside Grizzly Coaches Show. Now, here's Buzz with Coach Mike Fallure.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Mike Fallure Show. We're live at Walk-Ons at 4603 Phoenix. And, Coach, before we get started, I just want to say thank you to Walk-Ons for allowing us to have our show here. It's what a great place to get a good meal, and gave us a great space to do it, and we appreciate them. We also want to welcome in our fans that are here tonight. I know Dr. Rathman is here, and we appreciate her. Just saw Mike Shears walk in. We appreciate everybody that comes in to watch this, Coach. And first thing I want to say, hey, we're 3-0. What a game. I don't know how many more of those I can take. You had two emotional games to start with Southside and Greenwood, and then go to Harbor and play them 63-56. Did you see that coming?
No, I don't think anybody did. Their coaches, our coaches, or anyone. It was definitely, if you like scoring, it was a game that was very entertaining for people. And I really don't like those, but I'm glad we came out on the good end of it.
Over the course of the game, we go down 20-7 to begin with.
Right.
But over the course of the game, you look at a score like 63-56, and you talk about all the lead changes and so forth. We actually only led for 56 seconds in that game.
Yep.
The right 56 seconds.
That's the end.
Right.
But you're right. I mean, we were always fighting back to get back in the ball game. And, my hat's off to our kids. That they just kept playing and they kept playing, and they never panicked. Mm-hmm. They never once griped at each other about come on this or do that. I mean, they just kept playing. Offense just, they're so level. You don't see a lot of emotion out of them, good or bad. And so, again, I'm proud of the way they fought. And, there's been some times in years past that had that happened to us, we probably would have got beat pretty bad, but not this group.
And I've had some people express that to me, too, in the years past. This group is special. And you had mentioned a couple shows ago that these kids help each other. They pick each other up on the sideline. It started with Southside when things weren't going our way in the very beginning there. And they were able to help each other, and that's teamwork.
Yeah. I mean, I think 2 weeks ago when we played Greenwood, Coach Solly called it a total team win. Mm-hmm. And I think, again, that's what happened Friday. I mean, obviously our defense wasn't as on as they normally or they were the week before.
Right.
But, offense came in and picked them up. I was really, really pleased with our kicking game, except for the last kick that we had that we had done a great job of covering kicks all night. And me being real smart, decided to kick it deep instead of squib it, and they almost run it back. So, again, really proud of that. Noah Ottman, another good night punting. Saul Rodriguez did a great job on extra pressure-packed extra points.
Yeah.
And then Michael Trinidad kicking off did exactly what we wanted. So, and good coverage by our teams. And that's what we're going to have as we go into conference and if we're going to win against the big boys in this thing.
You get in a shootout like that, and then everything counts. A little mistake turns into a big mistake, but you talk about Saul making all his extra points. Well, McCade Moody had to snap it 9 times, and he was perfect on those. Jet Frazier did a good job getting the hold down. You miss one of those like Harbor did when they got one blocked in the beginning, and we were talking about it in the booth. That may come back to haunt them. They end up getting a 2-point conversion early in the third quarter. We'll talk about that later. But what a great job by everybody involved. And you talk about that one breakdown in the kickoff where Lane Reeder, their little running back, deep back, ran that back, but then we ended up getting a big interception.
Yeah, I was really I'm thinking of it the way that I would have approached it. Mm-hmm. You're down, you're even, 56-56. Your guy just ran the ball back to the 28. You got 2 timeouts. You've been running the ball pretty successfully. I would have run the football a couple of times, seen where we were. Yeah. If I was going to throw it, it would have been something very safe. But they drop back and throw it right out of the chute, overfire the guy. X may have tipped it into Poom's hands, and here we go. And man, our offense comes out and 7-play ends up being Liam Barclay told me yesterday it was a 7-play, 101-yard drive because of the penalties for a touchdown to win a game.
Very impressive, and what a great job Walker Katsavis did running that offense. He had 740 yards in offense, and it was just a very impressive performance by him. He was our player of the game. And as a matter of fact, I had the honor and the opportunity to talk to a statewide sports show, high school show after that game. They wanted to know about Northside and Harbor. They had heard that it was 63-56. They wanted to know how it happened. And I said, hey, all that's in regulation, which was shocking to them that didn't go to overtime. But Walker Katsavis was their player of the game also.
Yeah, he did a really, really good job. He never, Walker, knock on wood, always keeps his cool, doesn't rush decisions, doesn't force things, and really kept us, in the ball game doing the things he did. Leland Barclay also told me, that was a school record, 741 yards offense. And the other thing that was very interesting was he came in and told us, did you do the fourth quarter stats? And I said, no. He said, you had the ball 20 plays for 356 yards, 9 first downs, and four touchdowns in the last quarter. And, I mean, just blew my mind away that it was that much in the last quarter of the game.
It was amazing how many points were scored in that last quarter. When we go back to the second quarter, you get a big run from MAFFEI right there at the end of the second quarter. Saul makes the extra point. We have a 28-27 lead going in at halftime. Feeling pretty good about getting out of that 20-7 deficit, knowing that these guys have some really good ball players with Buchanan, McKee, Luke Brewer, who was the leading rusher for the 7A last year as a sophomore. He's the real deal. He had a good night again Friday night. But you got a 28-27 lead at halftime. Third quarter, we get the ball, and everything just seems to fall apart.
Yeah, we kind of started that the way we started the game. But, we fumbled the kickoff, unforced error. And then we turn around and we've got a receiver open, and it's a pretty good throw, and he doesn't catch it. So we have to punt, and they go down and score, and boom, right now we're right back 14 in the hole. But, again, we didn't panic, and defense ended up getting a couple of stops, give us those opportunities, and kids on offense answered, and 63-56. I mean, just unbelievable. Just one of those games where you're just like, did we really just win this game? So.
Well, when it was 42-28 in that first 3 minutes of the third quarter, what was the atmosphere like on the sideline?
I didn't notice anything from our kids out of the norm. I mean, I didn't see anybody panicking. I may have been a little more panicky than they were, like, oh, my gosh, what have we done? But I didn't see that. I just heard, all right, guys, we got to go score.
Yeah.
And that's what they went out and did. Defense gets the stop. Boom, we score, and it's tied up again.
Yeah, that's impressive. And again, you got to give credit to Walker for being a field manager, not getting overly excited, not getting in a big hurry to try to get in the end zone. Just take what that defense gives you, and they gave us 740 yards.
Yeah, I kind of can say that about all of our offensive guys. They're very level-headed, stay the same. You don't see them get real excited. You don't see them do the other. They just kind of go along with what's going on, and so far it's working.
And you can't not talk about that game and bring up Church and MAFFEI like we have for the 2 games before that. These kids are amazing, the amount of yards they get after first contact, but there's so many times, Coach, that they get to that second level and they're untouched, and you got to give all that credit to your offensive line.
Well, we talk about players of the game, and we easily could say the offensive line been the player of the game in the first 3 weeks. I mean, but you got to give Sundquist and Ty their due. I mean, they do a lot of stuff on their own too once they get into the secondary. And talking to Coach Woods before the game, he's like, Mike, those 2 running backs, they're unbelievable. The most impressive thing about them is how they just keep turning the yards after contact. And you start watching it, and it is amazing what they do. And I thought about this, about if you're a defensive team and you're sitting there tackling 34, and here comes 33, and then 34 again. I think that's got to wear on you as the game goes on.
And they're different type of runners.
Oh, yeah. But they're both physical runners.
Very physical, but Church is more of a slashing type runner.
Yeah.
Ty looks for somebody to run over, and does. He hit one kid so hard and just ran over him. didn't really feel sorry for him, but it was just evident that Ty is that, that physical type of runner. He has 457 yards so far this year. Ty is, Sundquist is going to be right at 500.
Yeah, they both have right in the 62 and 67 carries. One's got 5 touchdowns, one's got 3. I mean, they're both, probably any team would take just one of them with the totals they've got.
Exactly right.
I hope they can keep doing that, especially this coming week would be big if they could. But I'm glad they're on our side.
Well, speaking of this coming week, we have Stark Conference. You got a big game against Bryant. They had their 32-game winning streak snapped last week against Longview, Texas. Watched that game. Longview is definitely a very, very good football team. Bryant, their kids are just as strong, as physical as they were last year. They're missing a few with the quarterback that went on and played for Arkansas. He's playing baseball, I think, for Arkansas.
That's right.
And then their running backs, you're talking about Austin Ledbetter, who's a quarterback, Xavier Foote, Hayden Schrader, their big-time receiver. He signed with UCA. But they got some other kids coming up that are going to just, follow in his footsteps.
Yeah, obviously they've got a great program. They've won 3 state championships in a row. They're a darn good football team.
Yeah.
I don't think they, are as strong in some areas of maybe like running back. Those 2 running backs they had last year. This guy's good, but he's not as big as, I don't know their names, number 3 and 21 and number 9.
Yeah.
But, so offensive line is huge like Harbor's. So our kids are used to that. Defensively, they put 11 guys out there that are great players. And, but I just, we got to survive the Bryant thing in the beginning. And then once our kids figure out, hey, they put their pants on the same way, I think it's going to be one heck of a football game.
I think it is too, Coach. We average 41 points a game. We give up 30. They average 40 points a game, give up 11. Obviously, the competition's been different, who they've played and who we've played. But their first 2 games, I think they played Benton to start with, and then Marion put it on them pretty good. The game that they played against Longview, you could see some flaws in them, but that's the first game they played this year that's really good opponents. But they scored on the last play of the game. Bryant did. It was 24-14, but the very last play they scored on. Then one of their other touchdowns, they recovered a fumble inside Longview's 5. So, but again, Longview is a very, very good football team. And you got to take your hat off to Bryant to get outside, play some different teams, some big-time programs, but they are a big-time program. And the guys from Longview kept saying, hey, if you beat this team, this is a 3-time state championship team in Arkansas. They're the best there is in Arkansas. They're very proud of that win.
Yep. Well, a lot of teams in Arkansas won't play Bryant. They just won't. But no, to go down there and then play them the way they did, we know as coaches they're a good football team. They're solid. Coach James and them do a great job, or they wouldn't be where they are. They've got great players. But I just think this group of kids is special.
Yeah.
I think they've worked hard. I think they've won some big games here early. We've played, I think, probably from start to finish, maybe a little bit better schedule than Bryant has. And I don't think we've played a Longview type team. But I like where we are. And we got to cut out some penalties. And if we'll do that and the defense will show up and play the way they're capable of playing, which I know they will, and offense keeps doing what they're doing, not to the level of 741 yards. I don't think that's going to happen. But move the football, get first downs, get our scores when we get our chance. I think it'll be a heck of a ball game Friday night.
Coach, one question I had, Jamani Benton was able to play. He got cleared to play actually at Greenwood, but then played against Harbor. How's he?
He did great. He did great. He was a little out of shape, got tired, but it was great to have him back. Mason Medlock, a sophomore, has come on and done an unbelievable job. They rotated series Friday to try to keep Jamani fresh, so he'll go as much as he can go this Friday, and if he can't, then Mason will be in there, and we got a lot of confidence in him.
Yeah, I was a little concerned about his shape, not being able to work out or anything during the healing up from that meniscus tear, but you seem to think that he's good.
Yeah, he's in good shape.
How's our defensive line?
They're all good. Everybody's good. I mean, we're going into this game. We've got some bumps and bruises, but about as healthy as you could ask to be going into game 4.
Well, Coach, good luck in that game. We'll talk again at the end. We'll have some questions. More than anything, we had some people just had messages for you after a big win like that. But we're going to get a chance to talk to Ryan Solly, linebacker coach. And we got some kids coming up, too, and you always provide us 3 seniors. We've got Joey MAFFEI, Eric Newell, and DAVION HINKLE we're going to talk to. We're looking forward to that. So stay with us. We'll be back with Ryan Solly right after this.
Do good when you eat good. Level up your to-go order by donating to the Walk-On's Game On Foundation, supporting youth athletics and their communities. Game on.
When I talked to the Sawyers about some windows and the concrete work, they showed me several different options of things that they had done, and it all looked good. I would recommend Sawyers to anyone. If they came out and looked at my concrete, they could see the quality job that Sawyers did. They were very professional and top quality. They were on time and on budget. I am 100% satisfied with the work that they've done.
You're in business to do business, not paperwork. That's where the skills of Potts & Company certified public accountants can help you succeed. Trust the experienced professionals of Potts & Company for tax preparation, bookkeeping, and other business services. Using QuickBooks for your operations? They're QuickBooks experts. The Potts & Company team can help you establish, organize, and optimize your QuickBooks for utmost effectiveness. Visit pottscpa.com to learn more.
Welcome back to the Mike Fuller Show. I'm here with Ryan Solly. Ryan's our linebacker coach. He was coached the defensive line last year. No, I'm sorry.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. Then Coach Hansen came in, took the defensive line.
And I moved to linebacker.
Moved to linebacker. So that's what you played.
That is exactly what I played.
When you were at Northside.
Yep, loving every minute of it. Always wanted to take a crack at the linebackers, and it happened a couple years ago, and it's been a great experience, and I got a great group of guys, and it's been awesome.
Well, let's talk about your guys.
Okay.
McCade Moody.
Yep.
Kendra Esau. Seth Fields.
Davion,
who we're going to have here later tonight.
Well, you want me to talk about him?
Yeah, tell me about these kids. I mean, number one, Seth Fields is a converted running back.
He is.
And he's a hitter.
He
Coach,
is. If he gets a chance to hit somebody, he's going to hit them and hit them hard. Seth is extremely athletic, fast, one of the fastest kids on the field. Sometimes he thinks a little too much and it slows him down. So this week we've had a couple extra film sessions. We got on the board a little bit today. He asked some good questions, and I was glad he asked them. I felt like, hey, this is slowing down for him, and he's going to be able to play a lot faster this week, and I'm ready to see it.
Well, you had made the statement early before the season started that for you guys to be really good, McCade's got to play good.
Oh, yeah. And McCade is a gamer.
Yeah.
And when he's playing well, he's making a lot of plays. And sometimes I got to reel him in and say, hey, look, you got to buzz your feet, read your keys, then go be you.
Right.
Sometimes he tries to be him and doesn't do the fundamentals, and we get out of position. We did that a few times against Harbor, but we've had a great week of practice with just doing the little things right.
Right.
He's super smart. He's headsy. He is what you look for in the outside linebacker. He's been a real pleasure. I'm grateful he's on my side, I promise you.
So, and going back to Seth, he had no hesitation at all to switch to linebacker. How did that conversation go?
So, Seth was on the fence about playing his senior year, and Coach Fuller, he called us, and he's like, we got to go out here and talk to Seth Fields. And so we go out there, and I have been flirting with Seth for a couple of years, like, hey, man, you're
well, didn't you put him in the Harbor game the year before?
Yeah, and I'm like, hey, man, you're playing a third of the snaps. You're one of our better players. When you get tired of watching the other guys play and you want to play all the time, well, you should come over here and play for me. So we went to Seth's house, and I laid it on him real thick about, hey, you can be a linebacker right now, play every down, be out there with the guys, and not splitting time with anybody. And so he did that, and he's been a sponge, man. He wants to be good. He wants to play. He wants to play well, and we're chipping away at that right now. And so he played pretty good against Southside, played extremely well against Greenwood. Kind of took a step back last week at Harbor. You know, I think that was partly my fault. I put probably a little too much on him. I thought he was ready for a little more than he was. So we backed it off this week, and I think he's had a great week of practice. And I think he'll turn it loose Friday night. If he just will go be Seth Fields, he's going to be one of the best players out there. I promise you.
So don't overthink it. Just go out there and do what you do.
Yeah, read your keys, go make a play. And then Davion's going to speak here in a little bit, and he's been a real surprise for me too. He's played JV the last couple of years, and he's always been able to find the football. And so him and Seth have been kind of splitting reps here. And, you know, Friday night, whoever goes out there and is making the plays against Bryant, they're going to get to play. And that's been a good, healthy competition. And I think this week they're both ready to play, and we're going to see which one brings it.
Well, Davion, I noticed him in the Greenwood game. Coach, he's got some speed, too, for a linebacker.
He's got speed. He's got pop. And I tell you what he is. He's a football player. He's headsy. He's always been a linebacker, which makes a huge difference. And you know, I want him to go play and play well, and they know this about me. They know I love them.
Yeah.
And I want all of them to play well. But the three that's playing the best, they're going to get to play.
And they know that.
Yeah, that's just the way of the world, right?
Well, talking about his speed, I watched him run down Hudson Brewer, the quarterback, at Greenwood.
The 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
It's huge.
It was huge. Big play then. And, well, that got our attention because you're talking about going too deep now with your linebackers.
I got 5 seniors and a junior.
Yeah.
And my junior, he's a good little player. I'm bringing him along. But my 5 seniors, even Ryland Johnson, I feel like if I got into a pickle, I could play any of those 5 guys. And that's a blessing. That's a blessing for sure.
Talk about your middle linebacker, nose man.
Man, that guy, he could play back when I played, right?
Yeah. He's old school is what you told me.
He's old school. He's a thumper. He reads his keys well.
Right.
He finds the football. You know, we don't want him covering the back out of the backfield a whole lot.
Right.
But as far as being a run guy, you know, he's it. But like today, this is a great example. I'm not going to say a whole lot about what we were telling him to do, but we added something to him today it's difficult, but if he does it, it's going to make him better. And you know what? He did it wrong one time in practice, and I said, hey, this is what I'm talking about. And I think they ran it 2 or 3 more times, and he played it perfect. Yeah, so he's easy to coach. All those guys are really easy to coach, though. I mean, like, I can say it one time, and they're going to try to do it, you know.
That makes your job a lot easier.
It does.
A lot more fun. I know how much you think of these kids, but you want them to buy into what you're selling, and these kids have. I got to interview Esau with the very first show that we did, and the thing that stuck out in my mind was how polite he is and how much he wants to be a good player.
Oh, yeah.
And wants to win games, but he wants to do it as a team. He's not talking about going out and trying to change the course of a game from being a middle linebacker.
That's right.
He wants to do it as a team. And him being a senior and a couple other seniors that I've talked to, it's been real evident that their mindset's completely different than where we've been in years past.
Well, I tell you, like, this team, they like each other. There's no jealousy.
Yeah.
I mean, we got some guys that are just unbelievable players, and I don't see them being envious of that. I see them supporting that. I mean, when Ty and Church can do what they do and be supportive of each other, then no one else has a leg to stand on.
Right.
That's the standard. That's the motto. And I think a lot of these kids, you know, they buy into that. They believe that way too, and it's just it makes it fun. It makes it fun to coach.
Well, the defensive scheme that you have, the 3-3-5, really fits your players.
It does.
You know, because you have to have some kids that are speedy in places, have mobility, able to slide, and it seems like everything has meshed together.
Yeah, like so like 13 years I was D-line coach, right? And so I just kind of buried my head in the sand and take care of my job. And I worked with Coach Curry, and Coach Bush and Coach Neal, and we just kind of stayed in our lane. And I knew that the secondary and the scheme was intact because Coach Curry was doing that, and Bush had linebackers, and Coach Neal had the outside backers, and we just kind of did our thing, right? Well, Bush moves on to Alma, makes some changes, and then I go to linebackers, and I see the game in a whole new light. It was awesome. I mean, it was like another awakening. It's like starting my career over.
Right.
And sorry about that. And then I started seeing things that Coach Curry was preaching to me.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we need help here. We need help there. And he started unveiling some things he's been working on, like called it Joker. And I started seeing some real value in that. And so we just kind of washed our hands of the 3-4 last Christmas. And he's like, you and I are going to build this thing.
Start over.
And we started with his blueprint. We went to Atlanta. We visited with people, but we've just been chipping away at this thing that Coach Curry's had in his head for the last few years. And I really feel like this, Buzz. I feel like every time we go out to practice, we make it better and we learn, and it's just going to be a work in progress to where it's something special. And I think we're really close to that. I do.
I agree with you. And how much fun is it now to be 3-0, getting ready to start your conference against a really good football team that in the past few years you think, well, we don't really have a chance against them. It's a different mindset now. And you go back quite a few years to a time that was not very much fun, and I want you to have a chance to talk about the difference in that time and what we have now.
So, like, I can honestly say this is one of the happiest times I've been as a football coach. Yeah, we're 3-0, we got great kids and everything, but I've been a part of teams that were 1-9 and 2-8, and I've been beat by Southside 11 times in a row and not make the playoffs. And if we did make the playoffs, we got beat. And so I've been a part of teams that were 45 kids in the locker room, and so I know what it's like to be part of bad program, bad teams, and be a part of it, right? Own it. And so it's a real joy for me to be part of this. And I got to thank Coach Fuller, man. He came and he saved my career. He really did. He came and showed me how to work, and it's been great. It's been great.
So a lot of the credit goes to Coach Fuller and what he's done in the last 8 years.
All the credit.
And
if people knew how much credit goes to Mike Fuller, they'd be astonished.
Yeah.
I mean, here's a prime example of Mike Fuller. First year, we have 6 a.m. practices Tuesday and Thursday during the spring.
Right.
And I'm thinking, man, this guy, he's for
hardcore,
real.
huh?
And like, hey, we're picking kids up, and heaven forbid you didn't know where a kid was, or you didn't have a kid. The kid could be in Canada.
Right.
The kid could be in Canada, and he's wanting to know, well, why didn't you have a way for him to fly down here and fly back out? You know, I mean, it was just a standard that he set and that he ingrained in us. And now, like, let's say one of my kids don't show up. I don't have that problem, but I have before. He knows that I've done everything I can do to get the boy here. And it's just we had to learn that from him, and we had to show him, hey, we're willing to do all that. And that's how we are with everything.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no excuses. Like, something's not going right. It's your player jumping off sides or whatever the case may be. He's going to have something to say, and it's going to come to you and the kid. And I like that.
Yeah.
I know where I stand and what he expects. And, I mean, like I said, if he doesn't come 9 years ago, there's no telling where Ryan Solid, telling where I would be.
Yeah. Well, we're glad he came then, because this is where you belong, because this was your alma mater. You have a love for it. And I think that a lot of what you're talking about, having to change a program, I think it takes guys that love the school and are willing to do that extra, not just the normal job, but go the extra mile that it takes. It's not just having great athletes, but you got to have great coaches too. And I know Coach Fuller puts a lot of trust in you guys. And if you look around at all the coaches, well, we got a good staff.
Yeah, so we joke around about it. Coach Fuller, when he was moving around in Georgia, he could always bring 2 or 3 people, maybe 4. Well, when he came to Fort Smith, he was flying solo.
Yeah.
I mean, he was flying solo.
Right.
But what he inherited was some young coaches that knew they were good coaches.
Right.
Had that confidence. We just needed to be guided. We needed to be steered in the right direction. Where's your focus? focused on getting kids out and being hardcore and mentally tough and demanding and coach hard and do all that, and then Friday nights will take care of themselves, and we've done a good job of that.
Yeah.
We're not where we want to be, but we're having fun with this team, and we're excited about Friday night. I mean, Bryant's going to come in here, and Bryant's the class of the state. Let's just say it like it is. They've won 32 games in the state of Arkansas. 32 games in the state of Arkansas. And they're going to roll into Mayo Thompson, and they're going to want to make it 33. And we have a team that we feel like is going to make that difficult. If we go out and do what we're supposed to do defensively and do what we're supposed to do offensively and do well in the special teams, we're going to look up in the fourth quarter, and we're going to be in it.
Yeah.
And we all know if you're in it in the fourth quarter, anything can happen.
Well, you love your kids. They love you. It's a two-way street. There's a couple other things that you love that are here tonight. Your daughter, Sadie, your wife, Jessie, they're here supporting you.
Awesome.
And it takes that to be able to be a coach, because being a coach is a hard job. It takes a lot of hours. You have to have a lot of support at home, and we appreciate them. And I understand Sadie's a pretty good athlete.
She takes after me. I mean, that's just the way it is. No, she's a good athlete. She's been begging me to play a little flag football, so I got her in.
I heard that.
Yeah, I got her in flag football, and she thinks she's something special. So we're going to find out Sunday. Sunday's her first game.
Is that right?
We'll see if she can catch the ball and pull flags and do all that.
We got a big weekend then. Friday against Bryant, and Sadie's got a game Sunday. Keep us posted.
Yes, sir.
On how that goes. Coach, thank you for everything that you do. You're an inspiration to a lot of these kids, and we appreciate you. And go Bears.
Go Bears.
Stay with us. We got Eric NEWELL coming up. Be back right after
Burton
this.
Pools and Spas. Check them out on their website, burtonpools.com. See their selection of hot spring spas, doughboy pools, and in-ground selections. As always, free spa and pool water testing. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun. burtonpools.com. Chlorine-free Backwasil pool care system. The difference is clear. burtonpools.com. With 2 locations in Fort Smith and Springdale to serve you. burtonpools.com.
Crabtree RV Center, leading the River Valley in sales and service for over 70 years. Founded in 1950, Crabtree RV Center has grown into one of the largest family-owned and operated RV dealerships in Northwest Arkansas. Located on 17 acres, including a 26,000 square foot indoor showroom. Crabtree RV Center has everything you need, all in one convenient location. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, Arkansas, making your family's dreams come true.
At Hug Chevrolet Buick GMC, we dial 782-8940.
This is Joe Calderera with Taliano's Restaurant. We call 782-8940.
Keep warm this winter with a York high-efficiency furnace. Or for more information on endless hot water and a high-efficiency tankless water heater, give Blaylock Heating, Air, and Plumbing Services a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
Welcome back to Walk-Ons. We have Eric NEWELL, number 19. He's a running back. He is our guest now. Eric, you hadn't always been a running back.
No, I just played it as a kid in my last year of high school.
What did you do last year?
Last year I was a corner/safety.
Yeah. So when did you make the move, or tell me how that changed as far as going from cornerback to a running back?
Well, I mean, really my whole life I played offense.
Yeah.
And defense in junior high too. But I got to Northside and they're like, "Hey, go play DB." Like,
is that?
You look pretty good over there. So
right.
I did good in my sophomore and junior year.
Yeah.
They saw that I could also run the ball and catch the ball, so they
made the move to offense. So on that jumbo package that they have, that's when you come in, have 3 backs in the backfield. You go in motion a lot on that. How does that work? What's the goal when you come in that package?
The goal is really just to get a hat on the hat. Have everybody blocked on that side, only leave one guy out of it, and so Ty or Church can get in the end zone untouched or have an easy time getting in.
Gotcha.
To give them a wide open hole.
Right. Do you ever say, Coach Neal, let's put it in my hands just that one time?
Oh, yeah. It's funny story on that. I mean, I was getting the ball in the summertime, but I had a little hip injury.
Oh, yeah?
And I pulled both my hip flexors. Not that big of a deal. I played through it.
Yeah.
I'm better now, but now Ty and Church, they're doing pretty good.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And they're good kids. They're good running backs. They're unselfish. The one thing that I've noticed about the team as a whole is that everybody's for everybody. You know, I've been doing this long enough and go far enough back that it hadn't been like this a lot. But having this senior leadership is important, and it doesn't matter, you know, if you're in the game every play. It's about being part of that team, being a leader in the community, in your classroom. It's very important that you do what you do to make this team successful. You can't win games if everybody's out there trying to be a hero.
Oh, yeah, you got to play for the team and not yourself.
Yeah.
That's for sure. That's one thing I love about Northside. I mean, that's why I chose to come.
So where'd you go to junior high?
I went to Chaffin.
Chaffin. So when you were the summer between your 9th grade and 10th grade year, how did you make the decision to go to Northside?
Well, I like working out, and I had this trainer. His name's Connor. He played for Southside.
Connor Rome?
Yes.
I know Connor.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Connor's a good kid.
Yeah. So he was telling me, we were training one day, he was like, man, you know, Northside's looking good. I was like, yeah, I can't decide where to go. And he's like, man, I hate to admit it, but if I was you, I would go to Northside. He's like, right now, the coaching, the atmosphere, everything's just better. I said, I love Southside. He said, but I would go to Northside.
Do you see Connor much?
Oh, yes.
Now, do you?
Yes.
Tell him Buzz said hi.
I will.
Yeah, we go way back. Connor's he's a good coach, or a good trainer, too. He is a big Arkansas fan, cannot stand OU. If you bring up OU to him, it just ruins his day.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know whether to say Boomer Sooner or probably just leave it alone if you talk to him.
That's probably best. Just leave it alone.
So we're talking about being a leader in the community, being a leader in the classroom. Let's talk about the classroom. Dr. Rathman is here. She's our principal, and she's very supportive of all of our events, whether it's football, basketball, all the athletics. But she's also very supportive of her students in the school and the things that they do, keeping up with their grades. How are your grades right now?
They're good right now. I only got one B, all rest A's.
I only had one B too when I was in school, but they were all south of that, my other grades. So good for you.
I mean, she really brought a lot to the school. I mean, we got college classes now at school, so I did a couple of those, and it's just good. It gets us out there, gets us to know what we want to do in our life.
Do you have a plan for when you graduate?
I plan on going to the UCA, become a PT.
Really? Well, my daughter-in-law is a PT and a graduate from UCA. Her name's Angela Sawyer, and every time I get a pain or a pulled muscle or something, I immediately go to her. It's kind of off the record, I don't go through the system, but she's very good at what she does, and it's gratifying. She really enjoys it. So good for you.
Well, thank you.
So you think that you're serious about that's going to be what you do?
Yeah, I already hope. I know a lot about muscles already, and help Jack out sometimes, stretch out and stuff. And he asked me like, "Hey, this turns like, all right, well, let's lay down. Let me stretch it out for you, bud. I got you."
Well, there you go.
But yeah, I like helping people, and I like working with the muscles. So
good.
PT's good for me.
So what have you got in store for Bryant?
Oh man, it's going to be a hard game.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be a blowout. It's going to be a hard game. It's going to be full 4 quarters. Straight up is we got to play tough.
Yeah.
We got to play tough. They're a tough team. They're a big team.
They're a good football team. Definitely. The 32-game win streak is snapped. They lost to Longview last week. Longview's a great football team. But Bryant's going to come to try to make another statement. And coming to Mayo Thompson, hopefully, we have a big crowd there for that game. But just do what you do. Give 100%, be a leader on the sideline. When you're in the game, do what you got to do to get us in the end zone or get us a first down. But whatever that is, be a Grizzly.
Yes, sir, I will.
Eric Newell, number 19 running back, senior leadership right here. Stay with us. We'll be right back with DAVION Hinkle.
Do good when you eat good. Level up your to-go order by donating to the Walk-On's Game On Foundation, supporting youth athletics and their communities. Game on!
When I talked to the Sawyers about some windows and the concrete work, they showed me several different options of things that they had done, and it all looked good. I would recommend Sawyers to anyone. If they came out and looked at my concrete, they could see the quality job that Sawyers did. They were very professional and top quality. They were on time and on budget. I am 100% satisfied with the work that they've done.
For more than 50 years, Air Compressor Equipment Company has provided solutions for the oil, gas, and industrial markets, becoming an industry leader in custom fabrication. An unwavering focus on assembly, sales, and service means that whatever size project you have, ACEC can deliver what works. Air Compressor Equipment Company supplies to businesses working in the most demanding environments around the world, but is still a dedicated member of the Arklahoma community. Learn more at acec-ark.com. Air Compressor Equipment Company. Field tested, quality driven.
Welcome back. I'm with DAVION HINKLE, number 14 linebacker for the Grizzlies. Just got through talking to Eric Newell about kind of what his plans are, what he's, done from junior high up till now. And the one thing we talked about was his grades and how important it is to him. And I was talking to you a little bit. You're pretty serious about your grades too.
Yes, sir. I always try to stay on my grades, keep them up. Stay on the field. There shouldn't be no problems with that with me.
Yeah.
So, my brother pushes me to do my best work. And,
that's
I
awesome.
just try to do it.
So you have all A's right now?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's impressive. And not just impressive, as just a student that has no other activities, but you have a lot to juggle with football. And then to keep your grades up. And I talked earlier, Dr. Rathman's here, and I'm sure that makes her extremely happy to know the kids are able to, do well in school, not only do well on the field, but do well in school too, because football is temporary. I mean, I don't know what your plans are after you get through playing at Northside, but your education's permanent.
Yes, sir.
That's going to last you forever. What are your plans when you graduate?
I want to go to college and come back here and teach and coach when I'm done.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
You want to be a Grizzly coach?
Yes, sir.
Well, we'd love to have you. And talking to Coach Solly, who is a Grizzly alumni, this is where he played linebacker, and I'm sure you guys know that. I watched him when he was you out there playing. He was fierce. I'm sure you can imagine that. But having a guy like him coaching here, and then Coach Fuller, who's also a Northside graduate, it really kind of filters through to the kids. They have more of a love for it because this is where they went to school. So that would be awesome, for you to go on to school, get your degree, come back and coach at Northside, maybe be head coach one of these days and get a state title for these Grizzlies.
Yes, sir, that's the plan.
So outside linebacker, how do you like it?
I love outside linebacker.
It kind of fits you?
Yes, sir, perfectly. I feel like my speed and everything I can bring to the table.
Yeah.
Outside linebacker is just the best position for that.
I didn't realize how fast you were until I saw you chase down the quarterback at Greenwood on that 2-point conversion. But you got some speed. Have you been timed in the 40?
I haven't. I took a
laser time?
Yeah, I haven't took a laser time,
Right.
but I took some, hand times.
Right.
4.8, 4.9 around there.
Pretty good to be a linebacker. So you're number 14 this year. What number were you last year?
I was 36 last year.
36.
Yes, sir.
Why the change?
I really just wanted a lower number.
Well, when I talked to Kendre, the very first coaches show, and I asked him, I said, you were a different number last year. I think he was 35.
Yeah, he was.
Last year. And this year, you're number 11. I said, what's the change? And he said, team hype, team hype. So a lot of you guys have changed numbers. And in fact, Joey MAFFEI, I'm going to talk to her in a minute, he changed his number. He's actually number 12 now, which is special to me. That's what number I was. So I just noticed that you guys, do you get to make a decision as seniors? If that number's available, do you want to go ahead and switch?
Yeah, seniors get first pick. That was the number. That was the lowest number available for me, so I just decided to go with 14.
Right. Well, go 14.
Yes, sir.
Keep it up. Great game against Greenwood. Another good game against Harbor. Harbor, offensively, boy, they had a lot of weapons, and they just, it was kind of a slug out between two teams offensively. But defensively, we made that stop that we had to make.
Yeah, we did. That stop by Poom Savoy was very crucial.
Yeah.
And it helped us win the game, obviously.
Oh, definitely. But you're going to face a good team in Bryant.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are a good offensive team. They're a good defensive team. They have a good kicking game. They're just an all-around, well-coached football team, and they're going to come to Mayo Thompson, and they're going to want to make a statement because they lost against Longview last week. But we're going to depend on you and your teammates to try to put a stop to that and maybe get us started off in the conference the right way.
Yeah, we should be up against some angry Hornets.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. I'm ready.
You're good with it.
Mm-hmm.
So in this 3-3-5 defense, that really fits players that are quick, faster players, and that's right up your alley. So when you go out on the field, what are you looking for? I mean, what do you have to guard against first? I mean, what's your first sight going to be?
First, I just check and see where the back is. The back's on my side. I think about carrying them out if I'm in the zone. If I'm in the man, I think about staying with him. Just think about my assignments before the play and reading the tackle, what he does, things like that.
Well, they have a kid named Chris Ganaway. He's a senior this year. He is their running back. He's a good player. And then Burnett, who is their quarterback, he's going to run some too. He's not as fast as Ganaway is, but he does a lot of, they'll fake a speed motion, then run a quarterback draw. Are you ready for him?
Yeah, we've been practicing, watching film on him, and we should be ready for him, most definitely.
I'm excited. That game Friday night wore me out because, I do the play-by-play for the Grizzlies and for Grizzly TV, and it was just one touchdown after another, just trying to see who's going to get to the end and who's going to make that stop. So I hope we don't have another one like that against Bryant, but if we do, I hope that we come out with that last score. You make that last stop. DAVION HINKLE,
yes, sir.
Number 14. Appreciate what you do. Good luck, not only Friday night against these Hornets, but good luck in the rest of the year and good luck in your career. I'm going to keep in touch with you because my daughter-in-law, like I was telling you, is a PT graduate from UCA, so I'm going to keep in touch with you.
Yes, sir.
That's DAVION HINKLE. We'll have Joey MAFFEI coming up next. Stay with us.
You're in business to do business, not paperwork. That's where the skills of Potts & Company certified public accountants can help you succeed. Trust the experienced professionals of Potts & Company for tax preparation, bookkeeping, and other business services. Using QuickBooks for your operations? They're QuickBooks experts. The Potts & Company team can help you establish, organize, and optimize your QuickBooks for utmost effectiveness. Visit pottscpa.com to learn more.
Crabtree RV Center, leading the River Valley in sales and service for over 70 years. Founded in 1950, Crabtree RV Center has grown into one of the largest family-owned and operated RV dealerships in Northwest Arkansas. Located on 17 acres, including a 26,000 square foot indoor showroom. Crabtree RV Center has everything you need, all in one convenient location. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, Arkansas, making your family's dreams come true.
Burton Pools and Spas. Check them out on their website, burtonpools.com. See their selection of hot spring spas, doughboy pools, and in-ground selections. As always, free spa and pool water testing. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun. burtonpools.com. Chlorine-free Backwasil pool care system. The difference is clear. burtonpools.com. With 2 locations in Fort Smith and Springdale to serve you. burtonpools.com.
Welcome back to Walk-Ons. Great interview with DAVION HINKLE and Eric Newell, but I've got Joey MAFFEI here now. He is a wide receiver, punt returner. His brother played for the Grizzlies a few years back. Let's go back a couple years. Where'd you go to junior high?
I went to Darby.
Oh, you did?
So we moved here and I went to Ballman Elementary, and then we lived in the district of Darby, so
got you.
That's where Jimmy went to.
So Jeremy, who was a great punt returner, and you've pretty much followed in his footsteps, but before I talk about that, you were always going to go to Northside.
Yes,
I mean, it was a given. This is where you're going to go. So now that you're a senior, do you feel like that you made the right decision?
Yes, sir.
What's been the most fun for you as far as being a Northside Grizzly?
Probably since Jeremy was there, and every time that there would be a good game on Friday, I would always go and, get in the student section and stuff. That would be fun.
You like that?
Yeah.
So now that you're on the field, every time that other team gets, and they're on their side of the 50, they get a 4th and long, they're going to punt. What are you thinking? What's going through number 12's mind when you go out to return that punt?
Well, I'm thinking I'm going to try my best to catch the ball and get us a couple yards. But you know, sometimes there's so many people coming, I just got to catch it off.
Fair catch.
Yeah.
But if you get a chance to make the catch, you're going to make it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you've saved us a lot of yards this year from making catches that maybe some other returners might not have wanted to make. But you're smart enough, you know when to get away from it.
Yeah.
Especially if
it's a bad punt,
Yeah, you don't know what it's going to do. And, I mean, if it's a nice tabletop turnover spiral and you've got maybe they've outkicked their coverage, you've got a chance to return that one. I'm sure your eyes get big then. But if it's a rugby-style kicker, and what those guys do, sometimes they'll run to the right like they did at Harbor and then kick it, and the ball's going to be end over end. You never really know what it's going to do.
Yeah, Coach Fuller was telling me that I just needed to watch and see like how the ball was coming. So if it was bad, I just run out of bounds or run the other way. So
right.
Yeah.
Well, you got to make good decisions. You don't want to do something that's going to give them the ball right back. I mean, it's hard enough to get those 3 and outs or turnovers or get them to a 4th down. So make good decisions, and you do. And we talk about that a lot during the broadcast about how you do make really good decisions, and your brother was fearless too. There's times that you would catch the ball in traffic or, catch it to keep it from getting deep into our territory. So it's such a big role that you play to do that. But, well, I tell you what, you've got to have some you can't have any fear and do what you do.
Nah, you really can't. Like, it's either you're going to be scared or you just got to do it.
Yeah.
And that's like what I do.
But you just don't feel it.
Nah.
Is that inherited? Because I know your brother was the same way.
I would say a little bit,
Yeah.
But, when I'm back there, I'm just doing my thing.
Well, another thing I have to ask you is that I talked to the other kids, too, about switching numbers. And now that you're a senior, you've switched to number 12.
Yeah.
What was the reasoning behind that?
Well, before I was going to do number 5, but then I was like, nah, I got to do 12 because of Jeremy.
Right.
Yeah.
So 12 because of Jeremy, and that's what he had.
Yes, sir.
I got you. You know who else wore 12?
No, I have no clue.
I did.
You did?
Yeah, a long time ago. I was hoping they would retire number 12.
For real?
After I got through wearing it. Well, obviously they didn't. But maybe after you get through, and there have been enough guys go through that have done a good job wearing 12, they're going to retire it. Maybe. Let's talk about your receiving skills. All right, you caught 5 for 48 yards against Harbor. Those were really clutch catches, especially with no timeouts. And you're trying to manage the clock.
Yeah, we had like 1:30 on the clock.
Yeah.
And we started driving down the ball. And there was one out route that I ran that I didn't get out of bounds. And I thought Coach was going to start yelling at me and everything. But we did that route twice, and then the second time I got out. So
yeah. And that's so important to be able to concentrate on the ball, make the catch, get out of bounds, stop that clock. But if you don't have to stop that clock and you make that catch, you might be able to make a little move and get down the sideline.
Yes, sir.
I know that goes through your head, too. So, first of all, congratulations for being 3-0 as a senior. Congratulations on beating Southside and Greenwood. Those guys, Southside never beat you as a Grizzly. It's good to get out of school knowing that you're the city champ for the whole time you were here. Now you're the Sebastian County champ, beating Greenwood. Those are emotional wins because I know you know a lot of kids on each one of those teams that you've played against as you were growing up. So congratulations on those. But beating Harbor like you did, there must have been some bad blood or something. There was a lot of personal fouls in that game.
Yeah.
Were they doing a lot of talking?
Not really. Like when we would go out there on offense, like they'd make one good play and do their little dance or whatever.
Right.
And we really didn't have any effects on it. We just kept on driving the ball down. So.
Do you try to tune that out and just do what you do?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure that's what all of our offensive players do.
Right.
Just, whatever happens, but we got to keep our head in the game.
Well, and you'll need to do that again Friday night against Bryant. It's going to be a tough ball game, but I wish you the best of luck. And maybe you can catch another 5 or 6.
Yes, sir.
And turn one upfield and get you 6.
Maybe I can.
Number 12, Joey MAFFEI. Fearless returning punts. He's a senior. Come out and watch him play. We've got a big game against Bryant Friday night. But stay with us. When we come back, we have Coach Fuller, little question and answer.
Do good when you eat good. Level up your to-go order by donating to the Walk-Ons Game On Foundation, supporting youth athletics and their communities. Game on!
When I talked to the Sawyers about some windows and the concrete work, they showed me several different options of things that they had done, and it all looked good. I would recommend Sawyers to anyone. If they came out and looked at my concrete, they could see the quality job that Sawyers did. They were very professional and top quality. They were on time and on budget. I am 100% satisfied with the work that they've done.
At Hug Chevrolet Buick GMC, we dial 782-8940.
This is Joe Calderera with Taliano's Restaurant. We call 782-8940.
Keep warm this winter with a York high-efficiency furnace, or for more information on endless hot water and a high-efficiency tankless water heater, give Blaylock Heating, Air, and Plumbing Services a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
Welcome back. We're here with Coach. I really enjoyed interviewing Coach Solly and Eric, Joey, Davion, class acts. All these seniors that we've talked to, Coach, they all seem to have the same mindset as far as the team goes.
Yeah, I think number one thing is they want to win.
Yeah.
Don't care how we do it.
Yeah.
Don't care who does it. Just do it.
Well, it's paying off.
Yeah.
We talked earlier about the first two wins. Those are emotional wins. You see those guys every day, these kids that played against them growing up. You know the coaches. They're all local. It's good to be the city champ. It's good to be the Sebastian County champ. Those were emotional. That one at Harbor, that was just a slugfest.
Yeah, and you were a little worried going in that maybe we wouldn't be ready to play because of the 2 games before, but I felt like overall most of our kids were ready and did a good job, and so now they know what they got in front of them. Mm-hmm. They got the defending state champions, the number 1 team in Arkansas, coming in here Friday, and what a statement it would be for us to come in here and knock them off.
That would be nice. And in the past 2 or 3 years, you think about Bryant, and it's that mystique, and you think, well, let's go in and make a good showing. Maybe some good things will happen. The ball will bounce the right way, maybe some key penalties. But right now, these kids don't think that way. No, the coaches don't think that way. You're thinking, hey, let's go play these guys. Let's beat them.
Let's go play our game. If we go play our game, it's going to be a heck of a football game.
Yeah.
And again, then it comes down to who makes a mistake.
Right.
So that has to play out itself. But we just got to go get after it.
Well, Coach, this is normally our question and answer segment, but we don't really have any questions. Everything that I got this week was tell Coach Fleur, great game, what a game. It's just everybody was on pins and needles, whether they were at the game watching or if they were watching on Grizzly TV. So most everything that we got was that. Just congratulations to you for the win. And going back to Coach Solly, boy, he sure paid you a big compliment too, talking about the times that Northside was like not the dark ages, but just not good times before you came, and how different it is now, with the kids and the coaches and what's expected of them and where Northside is as a program.
Well, I appreciate that. I mean, I think I was going through my drawer the other day cleaning stuff out, just getting rid of junk, and I found my little acceptance speech.
Yeah.
And I talked in there about, my main goal was to get us back to being relevant.
Yeah.
And obviously I would have loved for us to have won more games and not, but I truly believe that our football program is respected.
Yeah.
I truly believe that when they're getting ready to play us, we better get ready to play. And so I'm proud of that. I'm proud of our coaches. I'm proud of the kids that have come through here to do that. It's been work, and it's paid off. And you know, I just hope we keep continuing to go in the right direction.
Well, I told Coach Solly that I think part of the key is that you got to have a real love for the program. It can't just be a coaching job to come in and, you know, walk the halls of Northside and go to kids' houses and talk to them and make sure that, like he said, know where your kids are, be responsible for them, and it takes a love for the school, and having you that coached here, or you coached here now, what, 8 years? 9 years. This is 9th year, but you graduated from Northside. Coach Solly graduated from Northside, so you've got that true love for the program that lets you go that extra step. And sometimes I don't know that you know you're going the extra step, you just do it, you know, so big difference. Again, mostly congratulations, but I have a question about the Harbor game. Coach, once it got into the third quarter and we were able to get it back to even, what does your mindset, when does your mindset change on how we're going to coach this game? Because it didn't, I know it didn't, it evolved into something different than what I think that you game planned for.
Well, when it got back to 42-42, and you kind of feel like you've got, and then boom, they go score. I mean, it was just always, hey, we got to answer.
Yeah.
We got to answer. And defense, you got to somewhere in there make a stop. And when it was 40, I can't remember exactly, we drove the ball one time down to the 5. And it may have been, it was still 42-28 at that point, and we didn't score. And I looked at those defensive kids, and they were all like, Coach, we're going to get a stop right here. And sure enough, 3 plays and punt. We go in and score. Then they get an interception. We go in and score. Now, here we go. And so it was just, you know, we got to do our thing. We can't make mistakes. Defense, keep doing what you're doing. Get us one more stop. Get us one more stop. And they did. It gave us the opportunity to win the game. And, again, I'm so proud of the way they played. I appreciate people saying that. I mean, it makes all of us feel good to know people appreciate the product that we're putting on the field.
Yeah, after the game, when I had the opportunity to talk on a statewide sports show, Rex Nelson was the one hosting it, and the first thing he said to me, he said, Northside's back. And I was like, Coach, it's a different, this year it seems like it's just a different year than some in the past. Now, we've had some good,
we've had some really good teams.
I think Northside's been back for 6 years now. So I'm just talking about on a statewide, make a statement game like that Harbor game was.
Yeah, I agree with that. Again, like I said, I think everybody that plays us knows you've got to get ready to play. It's not we can show up and just win this game. And so, you know, Friday's big for us. I mean, I think it's really is a true statement game. And so hopefully our kids understand that and show up with the motors running, ready to go.
Coach, thank you. Thank you for taking the time out to be here tonight at Walk-Ons. I want to say thank you to Dr. Rathman, a lot of the parents that are here tonight. So much support for these kids, and I want to say thank you to Joey, Davion, and Eric for coming in. Say thank you to Coach Solly for spending his time here and brought his wife and daughter. Just an overall team effort. You can watch this coach's show through the Grizzly Sports Network, which is Grizzly TV, the app, on Mascot Media. You can also see it on Cox, the Cox Network, Channel 22, and we invite you to tune in any way you can. But more than anything, we'd love for you to be at the game. It's a home game against Bryant. Mayo Thompson is an exceptional place to play a football game. It's a tough place for an opposing team to come in and play, especially if those stands are filled. So first option is please come to the game, however you can get there. Fill those stands up. The players will definitely respond to the normal Grizzly crowd. If you can't, again, it's available on Grizzly TV, the Cox Your View, Channel 22. It's Bryant. The Hornets are a tough team. They're going to come into Mayo Thompson. They're going to be mad that their streak has been stopped, but it'd be awesome for the Grizzlies to be able to get their first conference win against this team. Coach, good luck to you.
Thank you.
We'll see you again next Wednesday, and we'll talk about Bryant game, and we'll also talk about Little Rock Central. That'll be also at home a week from Friday night. But until then, stay safe, be prosperous, and go Bears.
For more than 50 years, Air Compressor Equipment Company has provided solutions for the oil, gas, and industrial markets, becoming an industry leader in custom fabrication. An unwavering focus on assembly, sales, and service means that whatever size project you have, ACEC can deliver what works. Air Compressor Equipment Company supplies to businesses working in the most demanding environments around the world, but is still a dedicated member of the Arklahoma community. Learn more at acec-ark.com. Air Compressor Equipment Company. Field tested, quality driven.
Crabtree RV Center, leading the River Valley in sales and service for over 70 years. Founded in 1950, Crabtree RV Center has grown into one of the largest family-owned and operated RV dealerships in Northwest Arkansas. Located on 17 acres, including a 26,000 square foot indoor showroom. Crabtree RV Center has everything you need, all in one convenient location. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, Arkansas, making your family's dreams come true.
You're watching Grizzly TV.